I'm seeing a lot of let's goes. I'm seeing a lot of there he is, so I'm gonna just go with it. So hello everyone, I am Hib. I'm gonna address the elephant in the room right now. The game quality isn't looking brilliant, but we are running with the webcam and the game capture. This is the start of the 32x block. Yeah, I know, hype. I'm the only person who is mad enough to run a 32x game in this. So at the moment you're not hearing anything from the game, and that is because we are currently in the options menu. We want to go easy because even though we choose easy in this game, it's still ridiculously hard. It has no reason to be as hard as it is, but it is. So what we're going to do is I'm going to press start. I'm going to be quiet because this game has a stellar intro. Somebody said that tempo could never be in the house tonight. I beg to differ. I can't do his dance. I would try if I could. He's in New York, LA, and San Francisco. The groove is out of sight. Funky as you wanna be. It's groovy. The groove is out of sight. As funky as you wanna be. Hey, if that hasn't got you up and ready for this game, then I don't know what will get you up and ready. So I am in control of my timer, which is a nice liberty to have. We will go when I press start. And I'm going to go now. So Tempo was released with a 32x. You might wonder why this was on the 32x when it really needn't be. There's no game audio. That is sad. I don't know whether somebody will inform me about changing that. I will keep an eye on the Discord if needs be. But I can talk over this. I'm sorry if you just ended up missing the really good intro that this game has. But instead you'll get me talking over this game. So this was released in 1996 or 5, I want to say. And yeah, it was by Sega and Red Entertainment. No audio during the intro. Oh, this game's playing with me. So Sega and Red Entertainment, or Red Games, or Red Developers, or whatever. As you can tell, I really put a lot of care into learning about the details of this game. And I think they wanted to create a mascot that was kind of like Sonic. But the game, like, this couldn't be any less Sonic if it tried. The momentum in this game it's more traditional platforming, so there's nowhere near as much momentum stuff that you have to deal with. It's very chop and change. Is my mic coming through? It would be good to know whether that is coming through, because if it isn't, then I've got to do some changing on my end probably. After this boss fight, we will sort the audio out. But the boss fights, they are almost 100% RNG, which absolutely stinks. So what we are doing is using Tempo's... We were using Tempo's shock move, where he shoots a musical note out of his fingers to shock the boss. So we're going to take damage here, but we're going to get the last hit. And... Thank you, Nan. We are going to see if we can get the game audio up, please. There we go. That's what we wanted. It should be back on now. Apologies. You get to now hear the music that is Tempo. So for something that is so focused on music, the music isn't really that brilliant. So you'd think, wow, this newfound power of the 32x. How should we best use it? By making it look slightly more advanced. I'm I'm gonna say this now. This is partially 8's fault. 8, who primarily runs the Lion King, has dabbled in other speed games here and there, but I was given the nudge to start running Knuckles' Chaotix on original hardware, and I thought, well, if I'm gonna go all out for that, then I might as well pick up another 32X game. And no, I didn't go for Calibri because that looks like hell. But I chose another form of hell, which was this game. So we've moved on from downtown performance, I believe it was, and we are now in hi-fi performance. So all of these stages are based on, they're supposed to be scenery for a game show. We are on the major and minor show, and Tempo is the main star. And later on, you will see Katie, Tempo's girlfriend. Hidden lore for this game in Super. I'm enjoying this alpha. Is in Super Tempo for the Saturn. They end up getting married, and I think they have kids. And there is a good ending of this game where you, Tempo, will end up getting a house and having kids. So it sort of sets up what the second game has. Okay, things are getting a little bit hairy around here. Photosensitivity warning. I'm really sorry. I've given this way too late. Please stop looking at the screen right now, because yes, I don't want to be responsible for any damages. I've just damaged myself. So that's great. I'm seeing questions about the ending. I'm going to leave that to the ending to explain, because it does a much better job of it than I do. So I'm just not doing a very good job at playing the game at the moment. So one thing that you would have seen in that little ladder sequence is I just shot right up to the top. So there is an animation that we are skipping by double tapping, because double tapping is how we sprint in this game. We jump and we shoot a musical note from our fingers, and then we do a kick off the wall, and that saves us some time. A little marginal amount. We've got the big yellow note there. Our health is replenished. All of the musical notes around the stage, they replenish our health. This little bit of floor is RNG, another case of RNG in this game, where we can't move until all of them have lit up. So RGB fans will be very happy to see that. We again use that wall kick move to get up quickly. Then we want to avoid these cars if we can. We did, but at what cost? We hit that blue set of funny emerald things. Again, collect more health because we took a little bit of damage. And we move on. So this stage is probably, I'd say it's more fun than some of the others. Purely because there's a nice sort of sense of progression in the level. Some of the others, you're just like, where am I? So yes, it's a bit of an eyesore when it comes to what you have to see in this level, but I don't know. There's a place in my heart despite how bad the game is. Sorry, no, it's not bad, it's just absolutely arse backwards. Like, the RNG on the boss is painful. So we are getting spruced up for our second boss battle, and watch out, headphone users. We are about to destroy some headphones. It doesn't actually sound that bad. I'm just saying caution, headphone users, because there is some headphone abuse in this boss. So what we are trying to do is land on his head. We're hoping that the RNG will favour us and that he... Oh, so the boss got us there. So that is a death. This game, again, it's just pure RNG, whether the game is on your side or not. So we are using Tempo's glide to try and stay on top of this, like the head of the headphones. And we are wanting to try and stay on the head. That little power up that you saw just then. Okay. Okay, I'm trying to... Okay. I am on dangerous health. Oh, we died again. Oh, already on our first continue. Wow, this is poor. So this is where the RNG in the game is just... It just absolutely hammers you. We are going to keep using continues, and if in doubt, I will reduce myself to using the password function of this game. It is absolutely brutal. And I knew that this... I fully expected this to happen. Classic marathon luck. So you get to see this lovely stage again. And I have to try and make it interesting the second time around. So we've explained the basics of how tempo moves around. This run is effectively glitchless. We do have a little glitch later on that if I don't completely just screw up the whole run, I will show it off. I will show it off. Or at least attempt to. It's a whole load of, not frame perfect, but there are a whole load of like tiny windows that you need to make specific inputs in, which makes it very awkward and tricky. I should probably leave the explaining for when that happens. So, thank you. This, yeah, if you have any bless emotes, it's time to pull them out because these bosses are a complete case of RNG, and whether you get through them nicely or not is all, it's all on how kind the game is feeling. Okay, so we can afford to... Oh, said we can afford not to mess around here. There we go. Cheeky little maneuver there. There we go. That's what I like to see. This run, we are truly blessing it. So I don't know why they thought, you know what? Let's see if we can like cause some serious damage to people here. I'm causing serious damage to myself right now. I keep on dying. This is poor. I will admit that this is Tempo's first time out on a marathon, and I almost said in my submission video that this is like the least marathon safe run that I know. I haven't been speedrunning for long, but I speedrun enough games to know what is safe and what isn't. So Retrothon took the chance on me. I blame them as much as you can blame me. That's all I'm going to say. So if this is a complete dumpster fire, there is joint blame here. You can't put it all on me. But I did submit, so it is kind of my fault. So we are now back here. We've got to wait for the blue to come in. Hopefully not run straight into the enemies, but we did there. These teleporters, there's not really much to them. They just teleport you, as you'd expect. And they aid us in our quest to get to the end of each level. We meet what I suppose is the show master, the show presenter, who puts our makeup on and gets us ready for whatever boss we have at the end of each stage. So the music is very basic, very repetitive. You might hear a little bit of jingling as we transition between different acts in each stage. I don't know why that does it in particular, but whenever we have Katie, Tempo's partner, she adds another layer to the music, so it's nowhere near as like repetitive and boring as it currently is at the moment. You're just hearing the same beat over. You're just like, it's hard to jam out when it's so repetitive. Just got our makeup on, looking fancy, you know, as we do. Okay, oh my goodness, my display is looking so noisy. I apologise for anyone and everyone who's watching this. This boss just does not want to play ball today. Okay, good position. Please, just be kind to me. Okay. That's a better position. Please. RNG. Okay, we managed to avoid getting attacked there. We've got one last hit. That shouldn't have taken anywhere near as long as it did, but we made it through that, so... Phew, thank goodness. Thank goodness. 12 minutes to get through the first two levels. This is looking absolutely grand. So, I checked the other day. It should never be a reflection on what games can be speedrun for a console, but I did have a look to see just how many 32x games there were being speedrun on speedrun.com, and there were less than 20. I think there are about 18. And you'd think, wow, Retrothon, you've only got one of them on here. For such a console add-on that had like the biggest libido. I'm not saying this. The Sega promotional material is enough to tell you that this game is an absolute monster. Okay, we wanted to avoid that. So this stage it's called Indigestion Performance, but effectively we're getting roared. I'm gonna be quiet for the rest of this so that you can just process that for a hot second. Okay, don't want to do that. Then we take a little damage boost through here. And then the boss that we've got at the end of this is, it is grim. It is absolutely horrible. This is where the absolutely petrifying RNG comes in. So we have these funny like moving platform things that we've got to follow. We can't afford to do too much. We have annoying enemies. But we do have another one of those golden musical notes at the end, which will replenish all of our health. Oh, come on, just do my makeup, man. There we go. So this, oh my goodness, you are not ready for the smoke that this boss gives. It's complete RNG. There is no fair fight in this. I know it's organised. It's a boxing ring. You'd think that there is some fairness in this, but there isn't. It's looking easy so far, but trust me, it isn't. Oh, that was the dream. That was the dream boss fight. So usually that is completely horrible. So obviously the RNG is sort of balanced throughout this game, and it's given me a hard early game, and it's going to be really nice to me from now on. Tempo, you better. Also, for anyone who's interested, you're probably not. If you Google a Goodman's C530, you will work out, well, you'll see what I'm running on, which I'm willing to bet might be one of the smallest CRTs in speedrunning. I can't confirm or deny, but you should definitely have a look. You should definitely have a look. I rigged that boxing match. That's how I got the win there. Industry full of it. You shouldn't be surprised at all. So we are now at Jungle Performance. Jungle Performance is where we're going to have our first like major glitch / glitch full stop. Like, there generally aren't many glitches in this game. And we get our first one up, which looking at how the rest of this run has went, we're definitely going to need it. So we picked up that glove there that said 2, which means we have more projectiles to shoot. Not particularly useful in our scenario here, but we move on. So we do some sprinting across here and then a jump across, and we are near the second part of the level where we have our first big skip. The beans, she do be eating them though. And then we're through. Right, this is where it gets a little spicy. This is where we can clip through the floor if we maintain this pencil dive animation. So what we're going to try and do, almost first try. So what we're trying to do is keep tempo in this animation. We want to alternate directions so that he can just go straight through the ground just like that. There we go. The groove is here tonight, and we got it. So we are now on Cardi B. I like to call her Cardi B. This is a boss that we can cheese quite well if the game wants to be kind to us. Oh, isn't quite. Oh, okay. We might be pushing our luck here. Okay, so we're taking a death here. And all of the bosses, after the first 3 levels, they will dance on your dead body. So you've got these guys dancing. It's the biggest slap in the face that you can ever have in this game and gaming in general so far that I've found. So we're wasting more time. Lovely. I'm really glad that I put a 35-minute estimate for this. So we're gonna try and do what we did last time, sort of getting loads of hits in, damage boosting, and it seems to be working this time around, and it works. There we go. So it should be that easy, but it's alright. You may notice by the mug, I prefer to do Knuckles speedruns, and the Knuckles is Chaotix talk earlier, so this is a little, I'm a bit of a fish out of water with this one, so I had fun learning it. I sort of set a challenge for myself in January. I've been doing some charity streams, sort of specifically designed on weekends, and I thought 32X is kicking about. I should make use of it, and lo and behold, I didn't pick a better game. At least it looks pretty. This music is pretty good too. This boss, the bosses get worse. It should be no surprise. Although, having said that, the final boss in this game it's funny. And we clip through the floor there, which is very nice. I've been getting that recently. We get a beach ball thrown at us. Damage boost through there. We are low on health, which is unnerving. Hopefully we can pick up a note later on somewhere. And we've got that jump, which is nice. So we should be picking up some health in a second. I'm going to do a quick dash to the left. We have this funny, like, little drop with these funny people. So we want to glide down here so that we get those funny dudes on bikes. We tap through here, getting all of our health back, and we hit the big yellow note. Cool. I need to get this boss first try, otherwise I'm on another continue. Actually, if I don't have another continue, then I'm in the mud. So do a quick damage boost through there, hopefully. Our iframes are very slim in this game, which is tedious, but it is what it is. So we need to know the routes for this section. There are a few things that are required, but no, we move through nicely. We hit this funny note. I should probably get better at my music lingo so that I can explain what all of these notes are, but use that. The music. Yeah, the music. It's just the music. Even though it isn't very good, it's just the music. So this is a requirement in this section. We have to... I mean, we don't have to hit any of these people sleeping, but we hit them sleeping anyway, because no better competition than somebody who can't fight back. And we have to get the key at the end of the door, at the end of the corridor, to open the door on the other end. So now that we've got this power up where we can flick our fingers and release 4 bursts of notes, we use it to sort of disarm those enemies and get through that little section nice and easy. It's very hard not to get damaged here. Got damaged. There we go, that was nice and quick. And we are through this one. I hope everybody's enjoying the authentic look of horrible composite noise from my 32X, from my gameplay. So this is possibly the only marathon safety strat that I've implemented for this game, because it needed it, because this boss is horrible. So we have landed on the dance pad and we have got Katie to join us. The music becomes a little more lively and we've got a friend flying around with us. So what Katie does, we'll just do a quick example there. I can shock an enemy and she'll go and do the dirty work. So we are going to use this on the boss. Hopefully, in theory, we're going to use this on the boss. We are going to hopefully not have to do this twice. Oh! Okay, this section is unreasonably horrible. So we got to fly back over to where we were earlier. I mean, that isn't... I don't know. The drop is much further than I remember it being. These helicopters respawn because they're great people. Sometimes your double taps don't register. Sometimes the game just doesn't want you to have nice things either. So just gonna get that little bit of health, and we're gonna try this for a third time. Again, just gonna try and play it safe. Okay. Could have done with full health going into this one, but thank you, Lucky Star, at the end. That's great. So this boss, I don't know what he's trying to be. He's like a wizard, like clown looking ass. I don't know. But we're hopefully going to take him down like we took the last boss down. I could really do with this being nice to me. If not, I have no shame in using the password function that this game has. Okay, that's a good start. Okay, so we are on severely low health right now. We could do with this being nice to me. Okay, come on, KT. Okay, so we've got another dance, which is good. Hopefully he will be damaged to the right, and then we can just tap this. We've got to mash this. KT does the dirty work for us. Come on, KT, please. We could really do with not dying on this boss. Please get it. Okay, we got it. We might still die. Hallelujah, hallelujah. That boss is just absolute stink. And because we have finished this level with Tempo and KT, they do a special dance to the theme tune. You can see how close that fight was. I did not think that I'd come out of it quite as nicely as I did. Very nice. Circus performance done. And now, after the game gives us such weird bosses, we don't go back to the hub world. We go here. We go straight to Winter Performance with instruments that, if you've listened to the Knuckles Chaotix soundtrack, you just be like, yeah, this sounds like a 32x sound font. So we just enjoy what's going on here, even if it is a bit of a sensory overload. I'm going to take an extra jump here, if I can. Okay, no, we're in the snow. I was going to see if I can get that little tape there, which would give us a special set of power-ups, but it didn't, so move on. So we are now in what I presume is the center of Christmas. This is Christmas spirit, everybody. Don't you ever just find yourself in a weird blocky world with funny stars everywhere? This is what Christmas is all about. You've been missing the point of it this whole time. Where Tempo saved the land. So Winter Performance is a nice little stage before we go to the final boss, final stage. And you think, okay, well, the game's throwing quite a few things at us so far. What could we possibly have next? Well, we get out of Winter Performance. We are thrown back into the hub world because Winter Performance doesn't deserve its own thing. And we go on to face the last challenge. This is Final Performance. What does Final Performance have for us? Very nice, almost elevator music. Why would we have elevator music? Because we're about to get in some elevators. So what door do we take here? We take this one. You see the lovely smear animations that this game has. Then we take this elevator. We do a deliberate smash. We can end on a funny frame here. There we go. I love that frame that we finish on. Yeah, that's so good. Then we take our door to the left here. And then we take the door to the left here. We want to avoid letting these enemies touch us. comically placed pianos. No worries, you can just go up here. Then where do we find ourselves next? Oh, this is where the band play. We've got to let them keep playing their music. We'll only take out one of them. We haven't paid for this hotel. We can't use the bathroom, so we've got to get out of them quickly. Got to keep on getting out of this because we didn't pay for the pool. We can't just be using these facilities and not be paying for them. So we're going to go over. We're going to let this man do his fishing because a fish has got to fish, you know. And then this is the deciding room, to which we use that elevator door, and then we go straight up again, and we are at the top of this tower. So we are gonna do the funny snap jump, I like to call it. Snap jump up here, and we are on full health. So we will go into the final boss with full health. Think about how all of the other bosses have been. What could the final boss be like? Well, you are in for a treat. He turned himself into a convertible. So he comes back in, gives us a little smack. We get the last hit on him. I'm going to be finishing my time. When the music stops and he starts to do his dance. That was Tempo for the Sega 32X. I hope you enjoyed this a whole lot more than I did, because this game is... it's unforgiving. The world record for this stands at 19 minutes, so it's... what, 1959, so just about sub 20, so being 10 minutes behind on a game that is absolutely brutal, I'm not too sad about. So we've done this. We've completed the major minor show. We've conquered all that we needed to. What do we win? Because this is a game show after all. What do we get? What is our GG? This man really is about to give us 1 bar, 2 bar. We get some boxer briefs. Then what sort of ending does that give us? Buff tempo is something that you can't unsee. All of you have to be here for this. That is buff tempo. That was tempo for the 32X. Do I recommend you try this out? Don't buy a Sega 32X just to play it. You can always try it out in emulation, even though 32X emulation is kinda trash. Gotta give it a go, gotta start somewhere. There was Super Tempo, released for the Sega Saturn, which is a much slower game, but it has a lot more charm to it. So, yeah, that's what I've got to say for that. I've got to thank Veo and Papanda, who I sort of went up to and asked about this game because I wanted to know whether it was really RNG that was properly like screwing me over, and lo and behold, it was. So that was encouraging to know. But no, Papanda's helped me out with things, and we've sort of shared our different discoveries, and yeah, so. Before I head off, I am just going to say one thing about the endings in this game. So, initially, Red Entertainment, the way that they did their programming was... They programmed it so the points that you'd get from killing enemies was much, much higher in the beta. So, what they'd do is... Well, the thing is that they didn't adjust it for the final release, so they toned it down again, but they didn't tone down the rewards. So to get the best ending, which is a house and a family with Katie, you have to spend 5 hours in the last stage using continue abuse to get the house without, like, you can use cheats as well, but like to legitimately get it, you have to spend 5 hours in this game, and that is 5 hours more than I'm willing to spend in it. So I hope you've been enjoying the credit music. It's good. It's a good medley for the end, and I am just going to point out one credit if it hasn't gone already. If it has, then I'm obviously not very vigilant, but there is a credit for a choreographer. So they really went all out for this. They thought, well, if we're gonna make it funky, we're gonna get some music. Yeah, there we go. We're gonna get some musicians in, people who know what they're doing, and then we'll get a choreographer in to make sure everything looks smooth. So I probably outstayed my welcome, But we got it under estimate, which I'm very happy about, and I didn't have to use the password function, so I'm happy. I don't know whether I'll touch this game again, but if you're interested, you can find all of the stuff online. I don't advocate it, but you can give it a go. Shoutouts to the people that are shout-outed and the Sonic speedrunning community, because that's where I'm mainly at. So if you enjoy classic platformers, then that's the sort of thing that I like. There we go, choreography dance assessment. Thank you, Tsukamoto Yukiko. And I believe there's another choreographer. But anyway, that is me. If you enjoy my ramblings and if you like Knuckles as much as I do, then you should certainly drop me a follow. But please do stick around, because in about a couple of hours or so, we will have some Sonic runs. We will have some Amy runs. We will have all of the classics. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and enjoy the rest of Retrothon.